In this video, I will explain KaleidoPaint's interface. Now might be a good time to mention your drawing stylus. I urge you to find some kind of stylus smaller than your finger. The old rubber tip styluses are slightly smaller than a finger, but there are better options out there. The Adonit Jot is the one I used for quite a few years. At least it was less expensive than the Apple iPencil. First order of business is to download and install KaleidoPaint on your iPad. There are some older versions available for Android devices, but the developer has mentioned that the app will no longer be updated. For older versions of iPads, I will show you the developer's workaround solution at the end of this video. Then good news, this app, KaleidoPaint, is free. And in my opinion, it is the best one out there for creating tessellations in the true nested shape manner, just like MC Escher. It opens a blank canvas with the symmetry menu already flown up. Let's set the notation to crystallographic for now, and then choose P4G as the symmetry group. That was my first symmetry group to tackle. Note the four-way rotation point in the middle, the X, surrounded by four mirrors, the lines. Click on the color menu. It flies up to reveal a color cube. The perimeter are the colors. A dot shows the location of the color selection. From the perimeter of the cube to the center is the saturation, and the slider at the bottom is the brightness. That other icon on the right of the paint chip is for the submenu of colors already used in your drawing. The next menu is for the thickness of your line, thin to thick from left to right. And similarly, there's a submenu for the previously used thicknesses for you to access again. This menu also controls the size of dots you might draw. Same type of color cube shows up for your background color. Let's leave it white for now, something we are familiar with. In order to show you the other tools, I need to open an existing image. Let's go for the frogs. The most important element of a tessellation, as I've mentioned before, is the perimeter of your tile. The beauty of this app is its ability to tweak the drawn lines to perfection. You can do this by accessing the edit function that's the menu at the bottom right. We can cycle back and forth from draw mode to edit mode in the same spot. This is the edit mode. All of these dots can be dragged around to modify the shape of your curves and vectors, as you've seen me do already in the previous video. If you click on one of your lines, rather than dragging the nodes around, a menu flies out. The top part of the menu is for general changes to the line. Here you can edit the line color, using a menu identical to the one we've looked at previously in draw mode, also with the same submenu. Here you can edit the line thickness. These changes apply only to the line or dot that you selected. This is not a universal change. The points with a gray outline are curves. The points with black outlines are either endpoints, corner points, angles. Similarly, you can edit your dots for color and size. And your shape fill, those are the nodes that float in the middle of nowhere. You can cycle back and forth between curves and angles by clicking the Convert Control Point menu choice. Split Control Point adds a new control point by splitting the existing node into two along the line. If you split a corner point, the added point will also be a corner point. If you split a curved point, the added point will be a curved point. The other type of point is the one that floats in the middle of the color fill, not attached to any line. That would be the access node to edit your fill. The fill technique is a flood fill. It will keep on filling the space till it hits a line and stops there. If for some reason your fill goes where it's not supposed to, zoom in. You'll have to find the culprit space, the crack between what you think are two lines meeting. You will need to close your shape properly. The color cube for the fill is the same as we've covered for lines. Hue around the perimeter, saturation from the perimeter to the center, and brightness with the bottom slider. It's also got the flyout submenu. The padlock icon was placed at the top right to lock your drawing. It won't be messed up if you actually touch the screen. I've handed my iPad to others to zoom in and out and pan around. It's fun. But to have my drawing come back totally scary is not fun. I do like to lock my drawings for show and tell, or once they are finished. That last icon, familiar to most of us, is for exporting files. You can save or copy the drawing exactly as it looks on your iPad screen without the interface. The default is PNG. You can also email an image, and the default there is JPEG. Or you can save a tileable rectangle for use in Photoshop or any raster editing program. But that'll be another class, another video. These image sizes depend on your settings. That's the gear icon in the bottom right we spoke of briefly when we first opened KaleidoPaint. That's it. That's it for the interface. Not complex at all. No math involved. For now, go out and install the app if you haven't already. Practice drawing lines and editing them. For this video series, try your hand at P4G, the four-way rotation point in the middle of four identical mirrors. The magic sentence being, draw a line from one of the corners to the middle of the rotation. Tweak, tweak, tweak. In the next video, I will show you a few more P4G examples, other than the frogs. Then your imagination will carry you away to your very own tessellations. Go out and practice setting down some lines and tweaking them. Stick around if you have an older iPad and I'll show you where to find some answers. Okay, for those older iPads, if you get an error message on the App Store, follow the link to the developer website, a bit lower on the App Store's page, for KaleidoPaint. On Jeff Weeks' website, geometrygames.org, have a look in the download section. Click on older versions. The KaleidoPaint section on that web page allows you to access all the way back to iOS 5. Jeff will guide you through the procedure. The icon may look a bit different. This is a screen grab from my old iPad mini. See you in the next video for more elbow to elbow, feet to feet, head to head tessellation examples.